Premtobre de mama ya mamu nyina ha ya mo akwa abado Adom TV Premtobre Kasee so ewia nsem na asie ne brason sa otibie sa Adom TV Premtobre Kasee ne etodwa wo mu bi ya obetini Supreme Court to constituency nan amanso aba won maba no ho wo mrahwebedwadie no wotu ade ahyeda ye bekọ ho no ye de nsem no abro osofo ya wo hwehumesua so Haruna Idrisun so enene ose hu behia se ehunu nipa pote dodo ewo free senior high school enhyehyɛ no so emu Mampani John Dramani Mahama de atudwa se eni da kwan wanhwe a ho airport no ye beye no eye first class pilot training school or West Africa no nsem bi agudie ka ho bi man so eni de na wie ye de bro sa Adom TV Premtobre Kasee or share live on Facebook /Adom TV Extra, Go TV at 119, DSTV at 280, Oko YouTuber search Adom TV 2, AdomOnline.com and some way ni be brain so ewo. Midi fear amankwa tamaklo. Eda se afia di de mienti said and 70 mu etie. Make a say dear, and yema ya pejanimu or Obuasi and important mu na no kwesi ada de so. Eye galamsey yes for be any military in term when so bi kura hwe won kwama bi anya prekro no say dia asomdua bamu ama adwuma so wo ahyase ye ne wo so wo ye kase no etwa so
Nano kwasiada efribra asrafo ene manfo bia wofa akwanbone so etufom agudie edisi yani no na bibia enkoso ewo kronim nanso sesei adesuafo a wonom esuade wo complex model school ewo Obuasi asian ko skumu biomu a wani age ya wonom ahyase esuade na science bia ewo krum honum nti Obuasi cluster of schools ennan ene wo bia ba kono adesuafo no eso atekora enam so amachechefo no aka classes ni bia bom maame ba ko ene atwetwe nkomo akire ne nti a oma akwan se ne ba enko school mu enko suade
enam dia omo ka ye nti empo ye de meme de ese de me say age some Monday and obey de oboko school esa no say ebia akra no opo obe ono ebi wo ho aye ofi obefo bus akọ ba ye wo han nti opon a oba ebi kra betimi asi nti saani misro nti me mama akra na anye de anko school me hwe say Monday kon bibia ye gia na afede mama na start
ukopie mu ewo University Obuasi campus a honom so adesuafo na hyase a wonom akwa class a wo suade nanso emfa ho se wonom ahyase suade no ehu egusu wo wonom mu.
Though we are safe and we go to class, nothing is happening around us, but there is this fear that is in us that there's a probability that something might happen to us or something. So I just wish everything ends so that at least that psychological effect that is having on us would be gone.
Nanso emfa ho se adesuafo a wonom ewo Obuasi mansini mu asian ko school mu esuade no wonom ewo Obuasi East mansini mu de wonom enko school mu George Kumsen eyo Obuasi mansini kwanchefo hwe adesua ho nsem so.
So with this incident and the 2 days lost, we are going to make sure that our morning reading sessions, we are going to use those periods to make up for the lost contact hours. The learners and then the teachers and the officer, we are not the target. But as it happens, when there is chaos like that, anyone at all can be affected.
Yeah, Guswaya Obuasi nsem no ne esi yenumu na enumu na Dr. Jerry Joe Harrison one na ye twetwe de Emma UTAG eye UG chapter do odi tudwa kire mu se wo se Emma ka bibi kire ye na yetena se so oman ye hwekwan ye befa so na galamse hu nsensam no ye betwam
Nano kwasiada ni a esi ye ewo galamse eni asrafo ntem ewo Obuasi a enam so ma nipa bi ehwere wonom nkwa no amasisi ababe ye hiade se manfo nyina betena se na wadwendwene akwan pa obetumi afaso atu kwanbone amanfo efaso tufo magudie ase efri wo memu na no ena Dr. Jerry Joe Harrison yo ye chochofo a woda UTAC UG ano eni amani boni atwetwe nkomo a wode atugya se
nemo ye koso no ye di beba wie sabi nipa nkwa ahuhia intino se de be ye bia be make sure say ye betimi asi galamse ya no amamfa nsusu boni bia amre no e we say yeah we don't want to be seeing this kind of clashes in future people's lives get lost in an completely avoidable way. Intino me say it's unfortunate, but and also should be a wake-up call to all of us. It's a report now yet, if it's anything to go by. Now we are getting to a situation where people are going to be emboldened to start doing the wrong things.
Wakasafa UG anti-galamsey projects. Asedia UTAC UG ebeye womuno. Ena ureyi echire muse.
For a coin back say, am I the results now? Yeah, for another way. I'm just a bit me. I complimented the UTAC and other media coalition. So me just said ne kwanso ano. And he said, "Sebi na mdo same kwan." Nti yeah, she say the omodi to kwam sesi ano say kwam fa some person ne nkrofo a eye galamsey ekasa na omode ensem no ebre omo. Yeah, say no so betima boa ama adwensakra aba. If he say se nipa no eti de wo kana se no hu nsusuanso a galamsey edeba me gidi say no so betima boa ama sa atuyenchem we yesiano.
Yeto Adom TV Premtobre Kasee no eso na apia yisi ne na kwani kwafo otoso emienu dwaben man ne eye dwaben traditional area ne wakasa de etia se nkwada ye bone wo suku ne ye ntwe won so no na miani mu ni ha dwene pa na ne abasobode bia kwa masuafo enwotwe a 2024 BC rombo homodin pa ena na nafa kwanya iso de sansemi etuja
Nana kwenyi kwanfo toso emienu eye epianyina se hene ekopie mu dwabe nananum atrankonwa ho nananawo na ne senkaye mu eno de atudwa se ekopie mu Ghana Education Service a enkane na ekwan ya yefaso ede aba etenetene nkwada ekoba se omoya adebone na ya Ghana Education Service eye free ho nkebe ya wonom ensan famra na timi aboa ama kwada akoya adebone a yetimi atwena so woni Adom Kasee etwetwe nkomose efa ho
sese de ne ehu ukosku ma yesi aban de abase yentwa nkwada ma ade ne ntwa nkwada ma Bible kura che say agimisem sabio ebata kwada ho enti aso aba etira kwada no me hu se ya twa kwada bia ba o school ama wawuda enti eba sa no se teacher for no obutimi mu kwada no akwada bi ye bone na kwotia be pa na ne ma me ana de papa abegida ho dumo be di teacher din no enti be ko school bo no teacher din enya kuma pa se akwada na mfumso ti no okwotia no eno ema yesu sem essay
Ode sansem ni etudwa ebra bi si nsɔhwɛ ekoso ewo Ghana fa na nyina ya edweso dwabea bato mpeso aso mofra be enwatwi bi a wono ebo omhomodi papa no oso omasene na wo moko senior high school eno de sa afutuo no esan episo ma wo mo se wo moko omunkan hu se omngomasua no omomani hi omuyi papa eno so ni Adom Kasee ebo nkomose
fi etwa mu 2024 so hwem koye no ya mincha de nkwada nko anwotwe erenya sene digit ne munu na me se wenne idia boside dikan de kwada bebo mabaso enti omo munya nkron no betim nkron no me obia sidi apem ene ahadnum de onya nwotwe no omo yemienu omo so nya mpem mienu na abayo abako na onya nsia to no nya mpem miensa empire ne ebo se we be hye kwada nkran no matime sua de na fe bedu babi kura pokura no na nye nwotwe ne bia dunu ne ho eko
enkwada wo musa eka akyede ene eniema na ede so masene eso ne Adom Kasee ebo nkomose
ya danana kwanim kwan for the second so as ewo fefa wa train so enya obia na betimi aye de waye amayen no ya dana sipi
Yankwa hafo mantam ne mu na school improvement advisors na ne waso wani asopa ahofmantam achechefo wo senior high school no eye enwumasua foforo ye na ye di edi dwuma no wo mo ache ne ntam kura dodo boa amasuafo nso ekowanim.
School improvement advisors are one ewa hafomantam mu edi atudwa se said ya achechefo a wo kirade ewo school to aso ahuduo mu akwan foforo a wode aba se wo befa so de akira desuafo ade wonom enyamusua hunu no wonom eni asopa
anhyemu ayehemu yehwe yesinto ne niema yetima ye kese ama abo schools no na de metima kan se abo schools no pa ya hwehwe se de first no nka teacher ni ko gira classroom de no ansa asa wo ye lecture no lecture sa enkura matiase am se an na ye wie nanso ne no ye de nkura no mum emma addition mu akobse nkura no aye ni ma bi na teacher na se facilitator ono wo hwe se nkura no ebetimi aye bibia nti ama ye school addition no aye so no nko enetete abefo video ye computer ni ade no ye de bibri aba ya addition ma se sabi teacher no kira de ne se nkura no ntiase ko timi yimfoni ma nkura no hu mfoni kama
Afomantamu panyini a wohwe adesua ho nsɛm so abedi akyire Michael Adom ene amani boni Samiasa renkomo twetwemu no wode tuja se achechefo a wonum ewomantamu honom no wonde wonum afantitiemu ama wonum ehunu akwanpa abefu bre 21st century obetumi akyere adesuafo ade na wonum enyaso mfasodie bebre
21st century skills eno so beboa ama nkwala no ati neme bi say integrity ICT into the curriculum because we are saying econo robotics ni AI na say aba eti say ya ma ye nkwala no anti neme bi ase fi sa emri ya that na emukọ mo anim no enema mu beye den amamo
Nani osofo ya ohwangu masia so Haruna Idusu nene wo se ehu behia se yehunu nipa dodo a wonya mfaso free SHS no emo
The National Conference on the Future of Education in Ghana to examine the state of education in Ghana with a view to taking recommendations from that committee to guide policy reforms to support President Mohamed to succeed in making education from basic, secondary to tertiary not just accessible and relevant, but guarantee quality. But one of the very first major issues a country must interrogate is the statistical validity, I repeat it, statistical validity of how many Ghanaians have benefited from free senior high school. My research does not give me any number beyond 3.9 million students. But in
Premtobre Kasee no so na meme bia yehu se won hye military for entade na assembly pickups besen so won mo akofa free mechanic shop bia ewo gomwa budumburam ewon finfin mantam
asojafo yi womanfo ekira womo edu bia ho no ahyen womo etoni nina pickups beye 7 na ye assembly no edia onipa na wono enedi wonanim eye Major Mahama no no ene hye womanfo yi se womo ento ahyen nina a police for a womo efri Central East Regional Police Command eni gomwa buduburam enso ekopie wo a womo ahyase eye ensemu enhwehwemu sisi ababe todwa se ahyen ahodoi womo ede call Central East Regional Police Command abra military officers yi enso ede ato eye assembly enwumafo ewo ho nse womo emfa enkrata ema a police for na womo ehu de ehyen no eye womo dia
so brashe bejani ye Frank Kasee du Queen na ene na wodin sembi todwa se ewo se ye bambo mo yiri pa ne titi wo apomden femo ntesa yare bia eba ni shune ne ban bia yete se coronavirus no ebi ebeba hanti e wo se mpanifo toto won ne manyina yie sebe ya ebeboa ye ho se koba se bibi se yiniti a ye de atwen no
Frank Kasee du Queen eyesu humra shebedwani chimu se enwa behia se human metapneumovirus abeto dwasati atise ewa mahodo so a eyakoye se COVID-19 no Ghana betinani aboa ne ho yi pa na koba ne se yade bi etisi oman Ghana mu a timi abobia eho ban wode sansem wetu dwa ebra amrashebedwa no ekwa asetena.
While HMPV typically presents with mild illness, it can be more severe in young children, adults over 65 years, and individuals with weakened immune systems, which can result in mortality. It mirrors some of the symptoms we observe with COVID-19, underscoring why testing and proper diagnosis are essential. HMPV spreads primarily through respiratory droplets, via coughing, sneezing, and close physical contacts such as shaking hands, hugging, or kissing. It can also be transmitted by touching objects or surfaces contaminated by the virus, and then touching one's eyes, nose, or mouth.
My entire Premtobre Kasee do so na enede Supreme Court ye abatom pesua 9 bia won samo ye ninwe yenti ye de bepie wanimu no nsam no won otu de ahye eda emu nsam ene de ekoso wo akwatia enso de no kwojemensa brampa ona kwo no pay de ekoso no ye ne kwojo kasa de afa ho ye mo akwa be bia boko na ne ko court no net say
enti asetena no na boko na nsam te dem a eka no oye bien na wotena adwende ze ozi kan ne ye constituency anan bia what wa be wie no na ne ho nsam bebre ntumi declare on na wemini no okro ye Kankwe Central Techiman South tama east ana Ablekuma North nti dame constituency nsam na oye no o de call high court na high court share isi there onhwe no nka kanzema mbom no nipa wemini no on declare no ono na isi ye ya sisi wa kakol Ablekuma North pe nti wewie no baba Sadek na Urabna Obin no wonte na mensam ya nti was asem no court Supreme Court there onhwe no nka bi ma nti na Supreme Court free asem no afra asem no oze asem to gwa no de wogbo hu na ma mu ayebu wa ha na oze aba afra asem na gari no makoma afọ de to Supreme Court na yim ono na ogina MPP fo hu na anyin oze to go there asem na wa aba no nkrata o de wa serve hon no na wo hwemu na wa ba wotum egina do na sa asem wo wo yon aka no won fa nkrata no ma hon nti obandam na o de wotu asem no hyada nti NDC fo no Urabna Obin na baba Sadek na nuanom na woze asem no koye no won serve MPP fo no nti obandam no na waka asem bia onye yi ono na Supreme Court gina ono na otu asem no hyada eda 14 wontum anka nti kapim de bia obe serve ho na ewie na so won bia no wetu anamo no na obetana afre asem no biom na no wo no waka no otie bia ni yem akweti asem no so manfo beka ya ansa na 9th parliament baba no the day I was swear in MPs no crown clerk no the two got there ni saka court order bia an excuse or ya kotia MP no elect no he there was swear ni in ana was the two gwa wo wana MPP for no na an excuse na kasa ka there one swear ni in so baba bia why crowded there obosua ni na nti ono na ono so na ni lawyer ozi asam no kada Supreme Court say hwe anoma na court offer do ansa na woze da me nyanhye no roto no do na court amfa akwampa do so nde asam no was call 31st December and na 2nd January court tina do na ode da me nyanhye ne bai da me time na court ye da maze no na isi nyan gazette ne results nti na isi po nje nu ntum de ono na wato aba weyi isi ye da maze no 6 January nti say hwe akwana court fado o se de o te de Bosma Asari's statement be about bontin nti ogina da me ensam na oba bontin da media fo ana center nchirofo wo kan no ozi madam ruling na no che de oni na nzi ni ye nti wada ba court the Supreme Court mbo High Court na asem na ombongu na ombra judge ne de asem bia ofa na skumi hu ewo da me election issue ni bia no don so wode ko na wa frɛ no na wode enizifo no se wo asem bi kan waka onzo wo poja wa no wose de MPP fu no serve hon nkrata wode wagina do na wose ka asem no nti ono so court we tu ashada yenyim da court obefrenti ede bia on benu ni na no obia be ready obe service ni yanko no na Supreme Court na asana afra asem ni biem na ze wo mbia no ya ma Adom ahwefo na etifo ona so ate
deda say Kojumensa Brampa na yetsen kan me ento so na yonko nsanfofro Kane Roads and Highways Minister Francis Asenso Boache na wodi tudwa kire mu senke beya abato ya to awie nom ne ade ne nke ni kwase ya ne ye na amanyo nsam kora bibi wo na anye ya yenhwe ne ensiesie no beboa yen so mai
Francis Asenso Boache Kane swafo anu ohwe akwan ene akwantempon so bra wo kasa e wo mahye bedwemu ene wode atugya se efiri bra afimpinu ene edunu na yabato no ba wiye basabasayo ye sisi wo miamia hodo e wo man mu no ha adwene pa.
Speaker, to safeguard our democracy and deter future occurrence of such unacceptable acts, I urge this House to consider a review of our legislative framework to impose stricter penalties and punitive measures on those who engage in unlawful conduct, including beneficiaries of their actions. Such measures will reaffirm our commitment to the rule of law and protect the integrity of our democratic process. Furthermore, I call on all stakeholders, including security agencies, civil society organizations, traditional authorities, the media, and more importantly, political leaders, to work collaboratively in addressing these menace.
Nanisi Yape and a First Deputy Minority Whip Habib Idrisu and so Echirimu.
Their comments indicate and suggest that they have no problem with the violence that is going on in our country. About 4 of them on their feet, none of them have condemned the post-election violence. They rather seek to justify, they rather seek to support, they rather seek to encourage that there is nothing wrong with what is going on.
Anusi Yape and a comfort do you, ya Deputy Majority Whip, a sorry ya, what did you just say, and someone, Deputy Minority Whip, no Edia Tujano, and Sweni Kura.
As the former president, Nana Akufo-Addo came to power, and his time was the time that we experienced. Even speaking alone is something that they will come after you, and every man in this country turned to a woman.
Adom TV Premtobre Kasee da uguso shano ne kokuma wo mrahye beje filmu ne omo eyi nsebi ebafa osofo ayapa ono so ngohwe yensi kasam ho nsemu Dr. Atofo sen ho wo chese ni CV no asa ne niema no awode ba hokọ no niema sisi ani ye ye no nsema wo ka eni
Domkuma wa mrahye bedwemu ede ato man foto samfo Kasee Atofo sen animu se na desua homa ene enwuma ahodo a waye atwamu enkrata wode bedan appointment committee no wansanya mu hwehwemu biom no wonfa emetudwa.
Was our campaign from 2003 to 2005, January 2005. Na me yema me se me hwehwe our campaign na me hwehwe mu no. Me se campaign na was say no director I was our campaign from 2003 to January 2005. Sa campaign akasale yet in February 2005. It's a plan was where director was our campaign ya sa campaign na ni ho na ntiase. Nti obi a obehwe yesika so pa na wonema ode be kire parliament asem say e wo so no na e mi ho kakra ti na me de me ka se e bi anya ntro na wo twa na bi a fumso en waye nti me de asem we eto mrahye be de fie nim enra na NDC panyina wo ho ba ko ayega e ka se ebra oye director of the company no na company no Yanti.
Ayanto Adom TV Premtobre Kasee no eso na voter regional secretariat NDC amanyoko no akasetia na no da niema bi NDC manu bi koye wo ho central nam so won ahye party office no Kasee no etwaso
Adom Kasee amani boni wodehie ba Ohusu Job enne voter regional communications director ma NDC amanyoko no Oruakafu Agblazer etwetwe enkomo en wodi tu just say the ekoso ewo o central baton pesua so a emeburo bi kwese niema no entwa yie na amanyoko no pese wode peripere ye eye adwuma basabasa ye bia enimne senti won mu edi
the actions of whoever trying to bend down the whole central constituency office. I must say that we thank the fire service for putting out the fire quickly as far as possible. We will not shield anyone. We urge the police to arrest and bring anyone who is found culpable to face the law. We will also not spare any party executive found culpable.
Premtobre Kasee na ugusosho na wadaroma nyenye nkrato yimra na eba ebetwaso. Yamwa kwa bayeda se ugusosho Adom TV Premtobre Kasee midi afia amankwa tamaklo yeto so dia mampani John Dramani Mahama ede to Ghana fo nyina nimni tichu ne nsori akendifo no se ko base bia ban na chia obi abetumi aka se be ya wombetumi atenetere na yetumi aboa so mai.
There was an introduction of heads of states from very many different countries, and the applause that was given to the head of state from Burkina Faso was the loudest. And so that should tell us something, that as politicians and Democrats, we need to set up to continue to hold the faith of our young people in our democratic governance. And so these are issues that the church, as the moral voice of society and the conscience of the nation, must continue to be one of the watchdogs. And so I urge you, when things are not going well, to be able to raise your voices and draw our attention to it. The government I lead is not an intolerant government, and if people speak and criticize us, we're not going to come and harass them and hound them and give them threatening phone calls. And so I believe that the church can speak freely, the media can speak freely, and we will take it as, you know, a positive instrument for correcting whatever they are referring to. Religion has become the instrument of strife and division amongst people, but not so in Ghana. In Ghana, we live in peace, we interact as people of different faith, and I think that is a blessing that God has given us. And so for that, as I announced during the campaign, we will work with the clergy and people of all faiths to institute the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving again. We think that we should take a day in the year to offer thanks to God for what he has done. And the Bible says that if we thank him for his favors, he would add more blessings to us.
Mampani John Dramani Mahama na eka we so se wanhwa ho airport na wo from Mantema Hinkromo no ye the be first class pilot training of West Africa.
We built the whole airport with a lot of expectations that it will become a major commercial route for our domestic airlines. And indeed, one of the airlines started, that is Passion Air. And unfortunately, the traffic did not build up as quickly as they had expected. And so they had to hold back and reappraise the strategy for Volta region. I actually tried to find out why. And they were using an aircraft that, they have two aircrafts. One is 70 passengers and one is, I think, 50 passengers or so. And so my advice to them was to start with a smaller aircraft, and as the route develops, then you can bring in the larger aircraft. So I think they're reappraising their strategy, and I'm sure once they do that, they might start flights to Ho again. But there's the proposition to use the airport as a pilot training school, a first-class pilot training school for West Africa, so that young people who are interested in training as pilots will come to Ho and train at the Ho airport. That will help us to utilize the airport more. And so we're going to work on that so that we can operationalize it as quickly as possible.
There do so near Adom Trotro, make us a prince who says you do water station. Na say maternity leave or no, yeah, 2 more and I won't submit no on the Adishi Kasa. Who's here until
Adom Trotro and a Chegum life and a the Trotro no Abe Pimo a water station. Your name or man for a waha a din commodia far a year. Oswa for our no na ban aboni din se won kohwe ema ene nkwada eyedi ehun sem so a wode abetudwa se maternity no sisi womo etremu e de akọ 6 months womanfo adwenkyere efa
yo medase ye freme Ebeneza na mebisa se akwanya no ye me ma hu bia na ye me ma yere wo no wo sa akwanya no su bia na
ema de na 6 months wadwenkyere efa
okay, because ebeboa pa sanse bebre kwa wo so a amfa atetimu. Yes, I be operation. Ti mom say 6 months na ebeboa wo.
All right. Man mi so e wa ha. Won so adwenkyere.
Madwenkyere ni say ebe ama yem pipe say yesi enye exclusive 6 months. Say ebe na fear 6 months na ya breastfeed you for 6 months na ebe boa because mostly 3 months no. We be man for 3 months. Now the next 3 months you have to be pulling your breast and heading. But say as ebe 6 months na exclusive no so be boa. Na ya tena fear na ye dey ahwe.
Mensanye obi fufuro adwenkyere. Hwan bia mi so na obekasa. Maami bi wo front me ne maami enkasa wo. Front wo mama won so adwenkyere. Mama chere wadwen. Mama wadwenkyere. Na wo manfo adwenkyere no memfa baako so nkan wa ha. Wadwenkyere fa ho ne say.
6 months no. Mamba. As I said 3 months there ya obi kura enya kwan yiye breastfeed akwada no. Enkanka obi a onni hwefo. Won say I tuna adwendwen hu nipa on fa ne nkoba 6 months ni do there na akwada no wa kine yiye. A oka say on she school ase kura. Obetumi a she school ase e ma ne maame no etumi akwa adwuma. Enti ye da na momo ase e wa ne odi aweka ho ama ye ho ye da na ase pa.
All right, won so adwenkyere.
Mezo madwenkyere se medawase menua e ya adwen papa obi wo ha obeja ne ba 3 months o adwuma ma ne bia ne ni wo na chi saa enso ye 6 months dia eboa na wo hwe nhyehyɛ ya ba ne dia start egu kwa ma otumi sa mamuo no ebeye
na o manfo adwenkyere eno no mensu na mede mete wo trotro mu enne no ma be pie wo eye Tama station trotro station no se trotro no eye ma mate ne agisu se away
Bayan to Premtobre Kasee ne so na ban lawyer Penny na wono so na hwa atentene ne so Adom anyini enene wo se Abrantie Oliver baka woma wo ne nsem no a ewo court wo beje nsem no na ya hwehwem ni ahwe na charge na e de abono no ebia na ye free so emu nsem ede.
You want to find out what you do? Well, with respect to the charges against Oliver, I'll definitely also study the docket. The statement that he made is one that was made in the media. The docket has been built, and I will study the docket, and based upon my own opinion of whether or not they are trumped up charges, I may, drop the charges. All right, I'm not going to, stand here and assure you that I'm definitely going to drop the charges. Not having read the docket and, come to an opinion as to whether or not the charges were properly laid and should be dropped. Okay, so basically, the oral committee and I will be meeting somewhere early next week, most likely on Monday, and I will be briefed by them in respect of what they have gathered so far, and of course, I will take over the information that they have. Listen carefully. I'm saying information that they have gathered. Information is different from evidence that can be used in a court of law. But I wanted to let you know that in our manifesto, we promised to reopen investigations into the murder of Ahmed Swale. It is stated there in black and white, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on the campaign trail, said it several times, and you can see from the marching orders that he gave all of us today, and specific to myself, that accountability is one of the underpinning, values, and principles that will govern the actions of this government.
In Mantemo, Penny, I want to do just so say enche. A mensini I would do a one more and fancy share the bojaho a banye a wood drummo and yejumano. One more at the Benyam so, Nembrano, I nejuma.
Merinda Mary Atiga Mensa, Odumja Penini Awada, Odumja Jumeku Nano, a one finfini mantemu. Wadane di se, Mensinia who do one finfini mantemu honomoa. Odumja and Shisha yes, a one mudiswo, when this one fine jumano, and Yadia so Odumja Jumeku, a better chun one asakura, Nimum, or better one more say, Akakujina asem DB. But as I say, Akaka Crano, say, yeah, auditing, na a mao,
report recommendation one to me enforce, so it will get to a time we will send you to court. We have to prosecute. Say status so everyone will be steady and will do the right thing. So we are here to help them. They too should help us. Niame who here first they say omoye ahanumu no say space the way our a coin say no they say in case of emergency cars they say fire appliance bar ain't member but we will even re-audit the whole market because the whole market is the biggest market in Cape Coast, so we have to take precaution and make sure that the place is kept in good condition and safe.
Ekwa wotwe asa ene Ebenezer Mensenje ene gina dwedifo na wonom ebo commander yaba so pa se waba be science inspection ya side wonom afantitie mu
dwuma na fire fumpanyimfo wotu anamano no kwa nyamene menwa ya ni sentili onenye that na se yebeti ewo aha wogana ha no anade koma ha no na aha ahyew igbeya ahyew na mpanyimfo so se eda wo da woto bo a onkan nti dwuma na wo bedi no menwa ya adwe na nda wotu mesan no wo bedi dwuma dwuma so otide menwa ya adwe pa
yet also na yesha afiasie ana yebewura mu kra wo bete yesija to edwa we mu ni ade nanso ne ukọ kentampo penifo ahwe dum jaso no wonde hihye agu ho pa sebe ya ebinyiniti ewo ewo mu se eja etotokwa ya ahuduo mu ewo kentampo mansini mu nanso eja eto afiefie mu ene edwa mu de wono mo ahwe ama wabre no asekura na no ena kentampo municipal fire commander DO2 Premtobre akire mu se
no ba se ne de enye no kwa na ye se oni se fire service ye se be yedwuma de ye di nyina no education prevention no ho na yetu ho na mo yi pa because of say fire service establishment and as ye airline ye di dwuma die na bo ho de rupa haye ene act 537 no ye di edijuma no ebo ho daru ye se ye be ye koso na education and sorry market edjuma ku mu ne efiefie mu nyina ne bebo daru eja ho daru a kire obi biara na ye tu eja ase ekrakrakra nti ye tu ye guso a ye se edjuma die a emi se na me no ka se ye anopa no ye ma education team ne ko education team na akọ ho identify hazard na bibi futu bi omdu be ma bi omdu ama na nwumre ne so no crew no performing 9 patrols el market
wasan ka to aso se
ija hu dwumadie dia ye free market a enyi nanso da bia me ka se me se ija ye di ade no ye na nka se asetena mu nkoso ne puntuo ne ija ne ba ebeboa ama yetimi ye nanso se wo ye ni da ho anaze wa anya ahwe ye a ija ne gensemo a ene ko fa sa oye ne nyina aba nti ye be sere afie mu ni market ye du da ro nyina yi wodi ja di dwuma bia o market o sa de no aduane e chibayire choba fo na mu market no nyina no em say ye wo mu so am say brese mu ye no mu di nkomo da bia na mu tu anamon se de be ya o mani ebekọ edwumadi am di ja ne ye
da du so ya Premtobre Kasee du body ay krado me mo akwa be ya shede
bibia da den ya send wa de ay ma chan hwe no pana o ma feedback nti tena me de Sunday wona na me de aba tena me de Sunday wona
okay any Kasee du body to so
fantastic afternoon I'm saying I'm so good evening 7:12 Premtobre Kasee 7:00 Yes, a fantastic na me de ebrewo. Say won say me ne afia ban kwa gira ho na say wo yetenten che me afia on one cheme. Wa han lawyer. Ti won so I say a lawyer no han me normal height. So now I be sure say dey fi Spain and this week UEFA Champions League boy but try ma France and dey ma me. UEFA Champions League boy Barca 4 and a boy Juma pa na ka say Barca work how they came back to win na no dey Rafinha to me a boy Juma Rafinha was the man of the match and Algeria no Bathina and any of the man bay as an banana jene papa ko jema no de se kitaro no o kwakwaji say ya se fia ma ka to so to brodo te fia ma kwa de brodo du fia say ya ne ma no mommy bread mudi e chira mu be dt bread ama mo ye motimo we dey say e ball eti on say a man of the match and say e kita na sa ne ade anya ono papa boboro ntia e bi oti at this time ka tietro we are show man once na na mo ano ho nyasam ketwa at ya wo to see so a woncha teteto no hu say eso ofokot na konyam na ye de man of the match ayi ma no gwala ba na ni ajaje ti ba fina ni ba no enso de no na transfer deadline Ghanaian Premier League ye wie nra ma has to focus sign bi kotoko sign bi na kotoko asan Kwesi Asante na Kwesi Asante kasa no chire mu no Kwesi se ne boro bono no Marcelo so ka Real Madrid sim na no ko fa ba ku bo so no bo ne board se Vinicius Junior akụ so bo ne board se Neymar we dey say wo board se Marcelo eti kotoko fo mu nya we na chire ho no be board se Marcelo
Okay, let's take it like the way Marcelo plays. He should.
That's how you play.
Yeah. You know, I have experience with that. So, like, for me, what I can say that is for supporters to be patient and also like the experience that I have. I know I'll do best to make them.
So, Asante Kotoko supporters, I present to you your Marcelo. Let's back wo Bunuya. Bo wo yemo panya go. Panyai. Kwesi Asante no. Kwesi welcome to Asante Kotoko. Meja mu de mama da mok. Efia man kwa tamakru no ato aso. Kejo ran kasa ni Kasee Dubwedi.
To our Premtobre Kasee no so na secondary Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly no Apao phase 2 secondary youth in climate change no ho entoma Kasee no etwasui.
Sa adwuma wodie nti secondary Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly edito mabunu akua wonum ewo mantamu honomu animu se wonfa wonum adwenkyere emra se de beya mensene no ebetumi ede aye adwuma na wahwa akwan pa ewimu adane eho nsem no obefa so na wasoso ano Baba Amidu assistant development planner officer ewo secondary Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly oni amani boni nkomo twetwe mu no wakire mu se
na program bia assembly no IFN Youth in Climate STMA Youth in Climate Action. A project via assembly no afase or the etia climate change. And the received proposal from the youth omu enfiedo do free 16 to 24. 19 groups in assembly near the selected out of 9 groups out of 19 and they selected for the first phase in the CIA first phase for the implementation. And the second phase. Second phase, Bloomberg Ama Assembly no $10,000 for the second phase. And we are trying to more aging our more person climate change implementation. We are trying to this proposal now for selection.
Mabunukua hudu bia wonom ensa kasa grant CBA eni amani boni nkomo twetwe mu no wonom kire ekwan obefa so edi sika na edi dwuma na wadu wo mbotaye ho
say hu we bia you realize say du we bi no news outlets ni ali ba bonten say Ghana from any ye home nenye South Africa in from ana ye home we are one of the countries that have the worst air quality indexes in tells youth na dwun say den e bi suma ye bi sna aboa e man Ghana. Now, many team at Jones. Okay, why say build the local product to me analyzes our greenhouse gases. Now, say exceed threshold now, I send the right information to the right authorities, which in our case is EPA.
You're ready to do some. Also, for Yaboni Dean, so on tourism, culture, and creative arts, Ablajifa Gomashi. Osisi nyame na adom na tumi no bedi ne nsɛm dia onegana fo nyina ye bɛka bom ne ahwekwan ye bɛfa so na akwansra ye to ahodo edada so no etumi abafom.
Taxes, taxes, taxes. It has been the cry of the hospitality industry from way back when I used to MC their events and I was not even in the ministry as deputy minister. I've MC'd a lot of programs for this sector. And it is an issue that we must collectively deal with. I overheard the incoming Minister for Finance, Honorable Atufosen, saying that he has studied this economy so well, and he has a fair idea how he wants to help us as a country restructure it. I'll be tagging along him and lobbying him vigorously. And I know that you're an economic person as well. And since you identified this problem with me, you perhaps would want to join me to have these kinds of conversations with the finance people so they appreciate the enormity of the task ahead.
Maminya no so na Adom TV Premtobre Kasee na ha na bema kwan na mede asiase da na ye odia emre ni adaje a wode fam yenti team ne nso meda mo se mede ne afia amankwa tamaklo fire for fire etwaso